having Steer as a partner was that they're a software developer company and they're asking us of how do you do things and how can we make it better? How do we apply this one as you go on so that we grow together?
So there is that level of integration or meshing with your processes. Did you have to change a lot of your processes to adopt Sphere, or it was the other way around?
To be honest, what keeps me up at night is actually the strategy. To strategize, because even if you have one project at a time, you can always strategize what those risk mitigations are. But to have a lot of those projects, to think which of your projects need the urgent concerns. The integration of that, for example, for a high-level company is like, so where do I need to put my focus on? How,
Prioritization.
yes, how do you put it? And at the same time, you don't need hindi naman pwede pabayaan yung ibang project.
Yeah.
Because again, and a green flag project becomes a red one if you don't really know where to strategize and how to deal with those projects. Just to add on that, it's because we need now for it to be solved on a case basis as a whole. I mean, more and more projects coming out. We need more than just the human concept of solving problems. So that's where technology comes in.
Right.
Because technology is just there for us to solve more complex problems. And that's how you, that's how you.
Instead of being the problem itself.
Yes. It was very important for us to have that someone to be held accountable and responsible for that, so that everyone joins in. It's a sort of a change management process where you're not all of your employees know what to do and how to do it. So for us, coming back to how we did Steer was because it was an integration of our process. It was more than having an orientation. For example, you wanted someone to come into your company, integrate them with how you do things. But how do you do those things? You need to start off that for like a 6-month period before they even begin. But when you already have that process incorporated in a software construction management software, then you align them that they continue to learn. At least there's a training time, but then continue to learn and become more expert as they go on, rather than having those 6 months of duration and you're not sure how well they're already facing with what's the reality of the work. I think the good thing of having Steer as a partner was that they're a software developer company and they're asking us of how do you do things and how can we make it better? How do we apply this one as you go on so that we grow together?
So there is that level of integration or meshing with your processes. Did you have to change a lot of your processes to adopt Sphere, or it was the other way around?
No, actually, it was the other way around. We provided them goals, and this is what we wanted. This is how we did it because that's how we presented. So Steer said, like, okay, you can do this. We can show it to you how you want it, and then integrate it even more. But even more, it's like all of the data management was already there. It was not as complex as any Microsoft Access, actually. Because if you'd like to think about it, that you need to make a program, it's going to be the best for like Microsoft Access. But have it, again, user interface that everyone knows how to do it, so everyone can contribute to it. Oh, well, for us, the slogan for Steer is having that one truth. I'm going to go with quote unquote one truth because it was important for us to translate that what we have document-wise is what the client is having. And the reason for that was there was a lot of ongoing changes, change orders, even the scope weight going on. And if you don't have that kind of relationship with your client or even your contractors, either way, in a three-way, you are not able to fully optimize any inflations actually. The goal was that the bottom line is that if you are able to let them understand from your perspective and they also from their perspective, it was important for us to have that process management aligned towards not just having that everything is in file folder in the cloud or in SharePoint. It was knowing that all of those process was already integrated. So that's how you teach them. Well, there's an ongoing learning curve. So it's not like you teach them in 1 hour and that's it.
Right.
They kind of teach themselves as they go on, and that's how we, for us to see, Caesar is already done with the auditing. For us, it's more like to recheck all of those auditing process for anything that we've done next year. Because I'm coming from a management point of view.
Okay.
So it's always, that's why it's always important for me that everyone tries to contribute in their own way. So that's where the ACB is coming from the employees. But if you go for a management level, it's where you know that you're already reaching a good KPI based on what are those KPIs, and then how did those KPIs were translated from the data that you have in the software.
So
Yes.
you're saying Sphere or like a technology product like this help you achieve your performance metrics.
To verify the performance metric, I think that would be very
Alright.
because you can just sometimes when you do reports, you can just say, "Oh, we're good," but to verify that you're really good, I think that's also that you're not just people are just not covering up anything other that needs to be.
Sounds familiar, guys. So like what Emerald said earlier, the single truth in the project.
For me and our end, it's always having to change for the better. Because that's how you grow, and you don't go stagnant with your companies. Of course, the growth will not have in just 1 month quickly, but having to push through that growth and then having to realize 5 years later on that you already have reached more than the growth that you wanted, and then you need to start somewhere already with your digital solution.